people. This is Kris of the Kris Gina Relationship Show. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to day 238 out of 365. 127 days left in this year. We've brought you here today for talk about accountability. Cuffing season is a month or so away. And right now we have a disconnect in these relationship streets. I've brought a couple folks here to talk to you about it today. For any of you who've never watched the show, I am retired. 8th degree retired Jedi Knight level player, now settled down to a life of goodness with a wonderful woman and a wonderful family. I got 3 daughters. I don't know how that happens to a guy like me, but it did.
It's called player's curse.
I know. That beautiful pet that you saw on the screen. It's National Dog Day, Gina B. This is Gina B, by the way. Gina B, tell people a little bit about you, and then you introduce our guests, and we'll do it like that.
These people aren't new.
You never know who pops up.
Yeah, Gina B. Been married for a couple of years. Co-host of the Kris Gina Relationship Show. What else did I say?
That's all you got?
That's all I got.
All right.
That's all I got.
You got any kids?
No, I don't have.
Do you even like kids?
Not really.
They cost a lot.
I like them on a case-by-case basis.
Okay. All right.
You know, I don't understand people who say they generally like kids. You know you don't like all kids. You know you don't. You know most of those kids get on your goddamn nerves. Anyway.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
So.
These views of this show are independent.
I love
Gina
kids.
B's views. Right.
You don't love them all. All right. We got some guests
there we go.
today. Okay. To my left, we have Nyatu. Did I say that correctly?
Inyatu.
Inyatu. My bad.
No worries.
Okay. I'm slaughtering things today. And on Chris's right, we have Dalila. Did I say that correctly? Dalila. Okay.
Okay, I'll book the guests, and we just told Gina B their names.
I'm bad at.
But in reverse order, Dalila, can you give them a little background, and we'll let the lady go first, and then Nyatu will let you.
Yes, I am Dalila. I am twin B of a set of identical twins for 47 years.
What? We got to do a
What's
show
her
on
sister's
twins.
name?
Her name is Rashida.
Oh, Rashida.
We got to do a show on that.
Okay.
We can.
My wife
She'll
asked me.
definitely come.
We got to do that. That's the show. I don't know what we're going to talk about.
I am single as a dollar bill. I have 3 children, ages 27, 25, and 8. Don't judge me with a 17-year gap. That's what happens when you have a Long Island iced tea for the first time.
Hilarious.
And not sick.
Oh, man.
I am a cardiovascular tech, so I actually work at Advocate Trinity in a cardiac cath lab and interventional radiology. I've been doing that for 14 years. I'm also an independent contractor for a medical device company, and I am a relationship life coach on the side.
All righty.
All right.
Yeah.
I like it all.
I save lives both ways.
Our producer's trying to kill us.
And Nyatu, tell us a little bit about yourself, sir.
My name is Inyatu Marvel, a.k.a. Mr. Hitch. And for the purposes of this podcast, I am a dating and relationship consultant, and I'm also a certified premarital and marriage couples counselor.
Wow.
Are you married?
I am not married. I do have a 23-year-old son and a soon-to-be 20-year-old daughter. And I'm a black love enthusiast and a former serial dater. I literally have been on 1,000 first dates.
All right.
Wow.
Right.
Wow.
So you learned a lot.
That sounds exhausting.
You learned a lot like I did. And you are getting married, though, right?
I am.
He didn't want me to let that out.
Making announcements.
He didn't want to make
this podcast.
I hope Ms. Inyatu. Don't.
So you're engaged.
Don't tell me nothing.
Don't tell Kris.
Don't tell me shit.
So you're engaged.
He just said don't say nothing.
Well, you already said it now.
I asked the question. He could have said no.
I feel like you can.
If he said no, he'd be in trouble at home.
Look, we're gonna keep it going. Listen, before we continue, I know a lot of people tune in and watch the show later. For any of you who do, and you have any questions on this, still go ahead and ask the question. I usually go back in. If it's Gina, she'll say this is Gina because I'm liable to say something. I'm liable to say something ignorant,
Yeah.
I'm liable to say something ignorant.
But if I feel like saying something ignorant, it'll also be unfair.
Shout out to all the ladies out there. It's also Women's Equality Day.
All right.
Did y'all know that?
No, I did not know that.
I'm surprised you're announcing that.
First off, I love women. I like women that are nice.
Okay.
I've been running to a lot of loud women. Listen,
You can be nice and loud.
you want to get Chris Levy to do anything? All you do is say it nice,
They
and I'm
usually
gonna
don't go together.
and I'm gonna do
Nice and loud.
whatever you say.
No,
Loud and
nice
nice don't usually go together.
Yeah,
They can be.
All right, bless.
I already,
Anything's possible.
you know, I always tell my wife
outliers.
if she ever leaves me one day, right? My next love interest will be an older woman, sort of
Oh,
fluffy,
you love those
because they're
big
nice to me.
older women.
They always nice,
He loves a big older woman.
as long as they nice and they cook something.
Cradle him in
You got-
their bosom after
You
they
got-
make cornbread.
You saying they
That's
said
what it is.
you said I'm just chopped liver over here. The guest in me already run down for. It's National Cherry Popsicle Day.
That's
I do have a popsicle edition.
What?
No, I don't.
Yeah, my kids they get tired. It's
I don't even know what that is.
Cherry popsicle.
it's National Get Checked Day for
Get checked for
for
what?
anything, cancer screenings, breast cancer, all of that. This is a
STDs.
reminder for you to get checked.
STDs. People.
And it's National Web Mistress Day.
Web Mistress Day?
So social
So you're
media
the-
mistress?
For those who design, develop, maintain websites
For women.
For women.
Oh, wow.
How is that so granular? How did they get that day?
I don't know. There's like a
I know
national day for
somebody whose
anything.
Facebook
Yes.
name is Web Mistress.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that one
Let's
of your
talk
1,000
about-
first dates that you wanna?
Before we get into this, can we talk about why your nickname is Mr.
Mr.
Hitch?
Hitch.
You got a whole nother career?
No.
Ah,
The movie Hitch came out.
Ah.
The people who know me were like, "Oh man, they made a movie about you, bro."
hilarious.
Except for I wasn't getting the crazy money that he was getting from Caucasian clients. I was doing it for free.
For free. Are you allergic to
For the
anything?
free
Back then.
$3.99?
No allergies.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. So that's how the name Hitch came about, and I redubbed it, rebranded it, healing individuals to connect holistically. Is what Hitch stands for. Again, I am a Black love enthusiast. I think Black love is healthy. Black love
Yes.
is the strongest form of Black wealth. And,
Absolutely.
I love to see it happen for people, even when it wasn't happening for me. I love to see it happen for other people. But it has happened for me.
Do you think those?
on my way?
Now he wants to talk about
Do you
it.
think those 1,000 relationships helped you out? I mean, to get where you are now.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we're going to talk about accountability because
Okay.
I want to be accountable for those 1,000 dates, not relationships.
Right.
That would be crazy. 1,000 relationships, you're really doing it.
Can
1,000 relationships is a lot.
Yes.
we?
100 relationships, a lot. 10, 20.
You know.
So my first question is, we're gonna watch a video, a quick video.
Quick.
Ron, throw on the video real quick. Don't go anywhere. It'll be a second, and then put us on mute, Ron.
Yeah, please meet us.
Got them pregnant and sold them dreams and shit like that.
Got 5 girls.
You got 5 girls
To
too.
let you know I was lying.
You
I've
been lying too.
I've
See,
been doing too much
That's one
lying.
thing that I'm gonna get right before I leave this earth. I'm gonna learn how to treat a woman 100% right.
dope. That's dope.
Cause what did I do wrong that I can't have a son? But I know what it was. I done lied to all these women and got them pregnant and sold them dreams and shit like that.
Got 5 girls.
You got 5 girls
To
too.
let you know I was lying.
You been lying too.
I've
See,
been doing too
That's
much
one
lying.
thing that I'm gonna get right before I leave this earth. I'm gonna learn how to treat a woman 100% right.
dope. That's dope.
Cause that's something that I want to do for my mother, for my children, for my daughters. I never treated a woman right 100%. And now that I'm getting older, I'm realizing, man, you gotta treat a woman right, Mike. You gotta you can't cheat on her. You gotta be her friend. You gotta not be selfish. This is what I want to do. This is one of my dreams, man.
That's dope. That's
I'm
something we
not
have to
lying,
learn as
man.
men. That's something we really have to learn as
Because
men.
I had issues with my mother. So now I want to make a woman. I don't want my kid's mother to, you know what I mean, to have my mother's stuff. So that's one of my things I want to do, man.
All right, we're back. And we're back. That was a good video, right? But you know,
That's
the
hilarious.
topic of this talk is what is accountability, right?
Mhm.
And I think I'm going to start with the question: what is accountability for our guests? Because
Let's get a working definition.
yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
Go to the experts
The
first.
standardized English language is so important, right? When we make up our own definitions for words, we really kill communication. So I think it's important if we're going to talk about accountability that we set a standard
Okay, so what you
for
got?
what accountability means. And so it means to be responsible and answerable to the things that you say and the things that you do and how they either control, influence, or push the results.
Okay.
I agree. It's also I'll piggyback off what Nyatu said. It's also about transparency.
Right.
Being transparent about your responsibility of the actions of the things that you did.
Okay, so how would you?
What do you think? Are you good with that?
I'm good with that.
I have a question on that.
Of course
Yes.
you did.
Well, yeah, we got them here. I'm going to ask them
Let's
some
do
questions.
it. Let's do it.
I would say that the truest form of accountability is your responsibility for your own self. Because you hear people saying, well, I want to hold them accountable. You really can't. You can tell somebody what they should be accountable for, but you can't make someone be responsible. Am I right? But this is
Yeah.
for your own self.
For sure.
And that is paramount because, you know, I throw up a lot of videos. They can be sort of, you know, women think one way, guys think another way. And you can always tell who's got some trauma because they take it as a blame, right? So we'll talk about that. But then I say, well, Kris, you don't hold the man accountable. I'm like, well, what do you want me to do? Throw him in jail? You know, that is a form of holding someone accountable. I mean,
Well, I'm going to push back on that a little
Yeah,
bit.
okay.
I think accountability can be verbal. And so I've just got to be honest, man. I'm a man. And sometimes I see men saying and doing things, and I say,
absolutely.
Okay, that's a good for my next question. It dovetails beautifully into my
We got
next
some
question,
dumb men out here.
which is what does not being accountable sound like?
Ooh,
the blame game.
Oh, yeah.
Deflection and redirection is the favorite go-to of the people that I encounter in the world.
And also projection.
Can you tell the folks at home what projection is?
Projection is mirroring. I say you do what I do, or I say you do what I do.
Right. Can it also be, I agree, the 100%. Well, I don't know the word for this. I think it could be projection, you all in the field. I've seen people, let's say two guys are talking. This happens sometimes in my house on fellas night.
Mm-hmm.
One guy will say to another guy, you know, something about, I don't know, Michael Jordan's lack of being the greatest at shooting three-pointers. And the response will be something totally not for that, but maybe something that guy thought he meant. Maybe that's bad. Same two guys.
Okay.
One guy says, guy A says something to guy B. Guy B turns to him and says, you just think you're better than so-and-so. Now, he didn't say he was better than anybody. Maybe that person thinks that
Yeah,
he's feeling that he's that way, but that's not what he said.
that's projection.
All right, so you know what I'm saying? I see that a lot. The response is, oh, you're this. And I'm like, well, I didn't even see anybody say that. Is that what you think? You know what I'm
Projection
saying?
is putting how you feel.
All
on how
All right,
somebody
I
else
just wanted to
makes
make
you
sure I
feel
had
on
that right.
somebody else.
Or
Yeah,
what you're
that's
doing
projection.
onto someone
Okay,
else too.
all right. All right, I asked that.
So-
That was jacked up how I asked it, but that's what I was asking.
It was a good example.
So, what are some signs that
What-
someone is dodging accountability
Oh,
without maybe realizing it?
oh,
Deflection, changing redirecting the statement that a person made to you.
right.
The most common complaint that I get from men in the dating and relationship consulting space is lack of accountability. And so the specifics of that complaint is that when they bring something to a woman's attention, the woman begins to express how she feels about it. And so the entire discussion becomes about how she feels as opposed to the subject at hand, which was the man's concern. And
Right.
so, yeah, that is
Big problem.
I had I've tried to come up with examples, and some of these will involve men and women, but because I know certain people get triggered by certain things, I'll use examples of this using my younger brother-in-laws, right?
Mhm.
Sometimes they're knuckleheads, right? I got friends who are knuckleheads. I've been a knucklehead. I have deflected before. So when you ask someone, hey man, you know, you should be working harder to get a job, right? And then they say, oh man, well, my mother didn't let me use the car. Or they're blaming what they're not looking job
Their
on
problem
someone else.
On something
For
else.
sure.
And that happens a lot. I do hear men do that a lot,
All the time.
all the time. But in relationships, I also see women do it. And for me, maybe I've been out of the game a while. I thought men held the market on this if you go back 25 years.
I will say that the percentage in women of not having accountability is astronomically high.
Yeah.
Like I was gonna say 80%, but I think that's a little low because it's a
You think
little
that's
higher
low?
than that. I think that's low, and what it is, I've come to realize with women, with accountability, is at first I used to think it was a pride thing, but then I learned from listening to a lot of women, it's more of shame.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll drink to that.
I
And
heard.
so
More
what are
shame.
they not accountable for or to?
Not account, like prime example, when Kris just said when a man tells a woman about his feelings, then it turns into, well, because you did this,
Right.
and that's why I did that.
Right.
Instead of saying, how did I make you feel? I apologize. What can I do so that I will not make you feel like that again?
Oh, Jesus. If a man heard that, yeah, I got some people to introduce you to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I got some gainfully employed Negroes that I know. I've heard a person, and I know this sounds weird coming from the critic. I've been trying to have some more empathy on this subject. So I've really delved into this, and I heard, and this guy forgot all these degrees he had. You guys are women. Tell me, is this right or wrong?
Okay.
Right? So as men, when we were kids, if I don't get picked, he's a better wide receiver. I just get used to our pecking order. I don't know if that happens as much to women, but when it comes to I'm wrong about something, men want you to acknowledge that. That's just how we are. Like if I do something wrong to you, if I'm really being accountable, like Inyatu, I ate your sandwich. I apologize. I know you were probably hungry. I'm gonna get you another sandwich, bro.
Right.
Women, it's a theory because obviously I'm not a woman, but I heard a woman say this. Women don't like the way something makes them feel. So if it's a couple, instead of apologizing, which does make them feel shame, like pain, like you're judging me, they want to make the situation better. So they'll say, let me cook him something. Let me give him some ass. But men, we're still sitting here like, can you at least acknowledge what you did? And that, I don't know if that's how they feel. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but that's, it comes up a lot. I'm guessing that's what's going on. What do you think, Gina? You're like
I don't
a dude,
quite
though.
know what to. Yeah, I'm
You're
not
like
the
a
right
guy.
person because very few times does the feelings like crop into.
Right.
I'm like, oh, do you need another sandwich? If I did something with my husband's sandwich, I give him another one.
Would you say you're
Yeah,
sorry?
I'm saying that was my.
You'd actually apologize.
Yeah,
because the last recorded record of a woman saying they're sorry was Anita Baker's record.
I apologize.
I apologize. That was the last.
I feel need
And
to.
a man wrote that song.
I feel the need to balance
Then please do.
the conversation.
Please do. I want to balance this.
Yeah.
I think sometimes, well, one, I only date women, so of course, lack of accountability, women is going to stand out to me because I'm not dealing with men in that
Well said.
regard. But when I think about myself,
Right.
that I spent a very long period of my adult life being hypersexual, being emotionally unavailable, being trash in relationships, conflict resolution.
You sound like me. I'm feeling so judged.
Matching energy, trash, setting up shop somewhere else, just trash in relationships. If I look back, hindsight being 2020, I didn't trust my ability to pick, and I didn't trust my ability to lead us both to the promised land. But the worst thing about all of that is that I thought I was good in relationships. Right? I'm like, I love hard. I love harder than the average man. I go harder. than the average man, but that is not the totality, and that is not encompassed what is a healthy relationship. And so self-awareness is rare. I think that's the biggest reason why people aren't accountable, is they really can't see themselves clearly, and they have people surrounding them who are enablers. So we don't tell people the truth about themselves, we just tell them they're great. We've never dated them.
But
you're the greatest man a woman could ever meet.
Women
you're
are the biggest
woman a man could ever meet.
Women do that all the time.
The self-awareness in Yatu, when it comes to
I'll be like, no, she ain't.
the things you just named, I think most men think they're being forthright. I was the exact same way, because I was dating them. I was taking them to nice places, but I was doing that with 3 other women, right? I was having 4 of them. I was paid back then. I had these kids. I was paid.
Right.
So they was all happy. But I think that type of behavior is more indicative of men. I mean, women have a different set. But what you said right there, that is the biggest flaw for men. And men, just because you told them up front, that's really not being accountable for the injustice, the hurt, the pain that you actually caused, right? So I will see men, and I have seen men. A man does something wrong. She's crying. But you know, why you crying? Why you yelling at? And then he gets mad at that. That's the reactive abuse. That's
right.
And men, I think we mess up in a wide variety of areas.
For sure.
I think women's are more pointed in relationships. You know, we have an issue today. Somebody says they don't. What do you?
I'm not sure about that.
We don't see about what?
The women are more pointed.
I think they're less to acknowledge in relationships their faults. But women don't like offending people, and they don't like being offended. For instance, if I came in here and hit on some floods up there, you'd be like, come on, dog. Those pants are too tight. You look crazy. A woman is less likely to tell another woman that dress is, too small.
I'd be like, sweetie.
But most women.
Now, I do see women all the time, and I think to myself, you don't have any real friends.
Absolutely.
I have some real friends.
My friends tell me I ain't shit, you dumb, that's stupid.
Told you.
They jump on you. And I don't think they do that. They don't want to hurt each other's feelings.
I don't have that problem.
And can I bring up another point? I think why a lot of women don't like to take accountability stems from how we're taught, that because a lot of women and a lot of little boys are taught by men, the woman is always right.
Yep.
If you say something, she always right. And
all the
women
time.
hold that to their chest. No, I'm always right. So they don't feel like they have accountability.
Yeah.
Men need to be even more accountable in women's lack of accountability, because we're liars. Right?
The whole
ex is all our fault, and she was perfect.
She
never in the history of the world did anything wrong.
Well,
because we want to hit it again.
So So upbringing.
No
so
lies
you think
told.
that upbringing
I think
is a big factor, right?
Yeah.
That's a big factor.
Family
too.
dynamics.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Well, as a person with 3 daughters, I will tell you, and having dated, and this is there's no formula, right? You can have 2 perfect parents, and you can have a son that go out and be just a maniac and gang bang and do dope and kill people. You can have perfect parents. That girl could just be an OnlyFans special. So it is no right or wrong formula. Let me preface that. But I will say, for a lot of men and women who had lack of, not all, if they didn't have a positive male role model, be it father, be it grandfather, be it uncle, be it stepdad, if they didn't have somebody who only loved them well, but also put them in their place, they have a hard time seeing that when they get older, because they've never taken, all they've heard on the phone is their mother yelling at some dude. Where the money at? Well, man, your dad don't be like your daddy. And if a guy hears that, he doesn't learn to regulate his aggression. He doesn't, and he's out if God forbid somebody gets carjacked. 9 times out of 10, there was no man in that dude's life. And with women, they don't want to listen to men. You can tell some women who understand what men respond to, and more importantly, they understand how they can get the most. They understand how to negotiate conflict.
Yes.
And in our community, unfortunately, we have a lot of that both ways. Even men with 2-parent households. Well, my parents were married 54 years. When I was a little boy in the barbershop, you're right. Everybody's telling me to be a player.
Right.
Oh man, Kris gonna be all right. And they
Yeah.
telling y'all, you don't need no man, girl, have your own. Well, they did a good job telling us go get these jobs, but not with relationships.
So tell me, how much does ego or fear of vulnerability factor into this?
So you just hit the nail on the head. Ego is the problem here, because that we can say
So hot.
shame or lack of self-awareness, but what is the nucleus? And I think you just touched on the nucleus, Gina B. It is the ego. We want to see ourselves as great people, and so we can hyper-focus on the things that we feel like we've done well, hyper-focus on the things that we think we've done that other people don't do, and completely ignore other things. But I want to touch back a little bit on what you said, because sometimes women who have great fathers are the hardest to be in a relationship.
Oh yeah.
Because your father loves you unconditionally from birth. He will reach into the sky and grab a cloud for you if you need to, and he requires nothing from you. And so the thought that a man will just see you and adopt that kind of love for you, where you don't have to do anything for this type of love, nothing has to be reciprocal, and I will still reach into the sky and grab the sun or the clouds or thunder if I need to and bring it down to the ground for you. That is what I call the princess mindset, and the reality is that the healthy relationship requires a queen mindset, which cares about the kingdom overall. Princes and princesses can just care about themselves and be spoiled. But if you run in a kingdom, if you have some authority, some power, some influence, which if you have a significant other, they always have some influence with you, right? You love them. Some responsibility comes with that influence and that crown.
And I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say shout out to your sister.
She said that's me. Because that's the way it was when you were saying that, and y'all too. I was like, oh my God, that's me. I had a male friend years ago that had to tell me, you have to stop looking for your father. Because as a girl, a woman that was a daddy's girl, my father passed when I was 14, but we were like this until he passed. But I agree, because I always look for that safeness. Right. But I have to keep telling myself, nobody's going to give me that safeness that my father gave me, because that was unconditional. I was his daughter. Right. So yeah, that is true.
I'm not gonna say no one would give it to you, but it will require vulnerability. Yes. Men don't get down on one knee if they don't feel that woman can be vulnerable to them. Yeah. So that it's hard for women to open up that much. So you do have a lot of good women who just, I'm not gonna be that slow. And a guy, if you've been out here like we were dating, you're not pulling the trigger unless you know somebody can be vulnerable with you.
So let's talk about that, Kris, because part of my accountability is that I was a serial and habitual flirt. Yep. Right? And so how could any woman that was dating me feel safe if it feels like I'm always looking? So none of these women knew each other. None of these women talked to each other, but they will always say the same thing. You seem like you're looking for the next best thing. That you have the door is open and a red carpet is being rolled out for if anybody is better than me, come on through. Right. And that was the flirting. And it was terrible. I maybe can think of one or two women who managed it differently. Like, okay, go flirt with the hostess so we don't have to wait 30 minutes for a table. Yeah, right now. I would use my powers for good. Yeah, me too. Sometimes I use a 5-minute list instead of a 25-minute list. Sometimes to sit down at a restaurant. But overall, it's just going to create problems, right? Because men and women, and men don't like to admit this as much, but we all need to feel safe. No one likes to feel like a fool in romance.
And no one needs to be made to look like an idiot.
Yeah,
indeed.
I asked my daughters about if they wanted to be married, the younger ones. My oldest is married. They were in high school. And they said, yeah. And so I went through what I do on the show. I was like, you want the guy to be taller. He said, yeah. You want to make more money? I said, yeah. I was like, if he doesn't, that's fine. As long as he's hard work. But I went through generous, this, that, and the other. I was like, the guy you thinking about, he needs to trust you too. So if you're out of town and your favorite celebrity crush, Chris Brown sees you and says, I want to take you upstairs after this, and you have the ability to say, you're gonna pay me $1,000. Thank you, Chris. I'm flattered. But I got this great man at home. Exactly. The man that you can make feel like that, who likes you, if he's a janitor, he's gonna be the best janitor he can. If he's just gonna jump through hoops for you, and I can't stress that enough. I'm glad they asked that because I was like, everybody wants that dude, right? Just like, women in a similar position with guys, like, everybody, like to your point, wants to be safe. So that's in feel safe. That was an awesome point.
Let's talk about that though, because when a man feels safe, he can wear his crown and act like a king and feel comfortable to even prioritize the kingdom and the queen above himself because he knows the queen is not going to take advantage of that.
Correct.
Flip side of that, right? When a man doesn't feel safe in romance, we gonna put on a vest and a helmet and grab an AR-15 and shoot. So I talked about that matching energy and things of that nature that I was not helping to resolve the conflicts. In fact,
you put kerosene light on.
I was shooting back. And for any man out there, if you really want to have a healthy relationship and you really want to be with a woman, even if she goes down the road she shouldn't, do not match that energy. When couples are harsh with each other, it's hard to come back from that. And so, rather to get out of a relationship than to be harsh and try to stay in a relationship with your partner.
To echo on to that, something you said, and then I have a question for you. One thing that I think it's tough for women, number one, social expectations, right? Yes. You got all these reality TV shows with all these gorgeous women, with all these super rich men. Social media, a woman by nature of a man, you could be a very average woman. Throw on a swimsuit, be butt ugly, shows it's going to be 1,000 men in your inbox. It's just the nature of men. Well, women like appreciation. We know that, which is why, if I have any advice to men, we cause the problem by lying to them all the time. So I do blame men for lying, because men, the nature of men, I've said this to people, that never comes out right. You could be very average, but let's say you got some nice cheeks. You got dudes who are vice presidents that sleep with you, NBA players sleep with you. You got people flat. But guess what? When you want to be married, you're like, oh, this is my level. That ain't really it. So the likes, the social media, the false, I tell my own children, you want to know how you tell a man really likes you? Don't kiss him. Don't give him none. The men who are still around like you. And I tell young men, you know what girls like you? Don't spend money on it. Just get to know it. And the ones who stick around, they like you for you. We don't learn how to pick. I think you said that, somebody said that earlier. We don't pick well.
We don't pick well. No. I wouldn't let men spend money on me unless I like.
But again, you're like a guy. You're different. I always tease every week.
So there's two rating scales. And I don't know why this has been on my mind for a month, but I couldn't figure out what I felt like would be a mutually beneficial way to bring up this topic. But because you opened the Pandora's box, jump in, and whether it's not.
We about to crack it open. We got about 2. Because I'm about to hit her with a hard one.
It's okay, but there is what men find to be truly attractive, and there's that scale, and then there's what's called a FUG, ABILITY, FUG ability.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
and it's just what you said. A woman could look like Mr. Ed in the face, but be curvaceous,
right?
And so therefore have a very high FUG rating while having a very low attractiveness rating. And I can see how that could be very confusing to women who are getting 400 likes on a photo, and when no man would like to really
no one's really trying.
Yeah. Everybody's like,
if they think that being naked and they wondering why they got 400 likes and these men all want to just smash, they are. I'm not gonna say it.
Well, no, but they didn't have your father. They didn't have your father though.
That's true.
So you know what I'm saying?
That's true.
So I can't. I mean, the world is cold, but it's fair.
That's one of my favorite sayings.
The world is cold, but it's fair.
I
had to explain to her. She said, well, men should. I said, the only person we can control is ourselves. Shannon Sharp, we didn't feel sorry for him.
No.
We said, "What that dumb
He's an
Negro?"
idiot.
Not at all.
So, ladies,
Bless his heart.
you get duped. So,
He's so dumb.
the question I was going to ask you, and I'm just going to say it. Want to hear y'all comments? This accountability thing. One area it rears its unpleasant head is when men state a preference for dating someone who doesn't have kids, and which is fine. And some women say that fine. They don't like. I had a kid, right? Some women didn't want to date me. Some women didn't want to date me.
Right.
However, anytime it comes up, women will say, because I do this show, you don't hold men accountable for being deadbeat dads. And I'm like, well, he's a piece of shit if he doesn't take care of his kid. Period. But if you had a kid with a guy who's now a doctor and he's a great dad, the world will say you made a great decision, whether you married him or not. If you didn't and he's gone, they don't like hearing that they chose that person. And the only reason that's important, when I used to play basketball, I couldn't use my left hand that well. If I had gone around saying my left hand is great, I had to say, I got to practice with this to get better. You'll make the same mistake over. So why do women get so mad at folks when you talk about that? That was the question. The question was to you. The question was to you. You got the floor.
Okay, so I can answer this because this is actually my life.
Okay,
right
talk
now.
to me.
My 8-year-old,
Uh-huh.
her father is a deadbeat. I don't get mad when people ask me, you didn't see the signs. I definitely ignored the red flag.
Yeah, we've all done that. That's not, yeah.
And
I've done
I tell
that.
people with one of the red flags I missed was his middle child was never at his house, but he gave me some whack story.
Got it.
Okay. The oldest child was over there almost every weekend, but see, when his son was there, I wasn't present to not know that his son was there, but he wasn't present.
Got it. Okay. Yeah.
Until I had my daughter, and then I was like, oh, so you really not a piece of. But yeah, so I know I chose somebody wrong.
Well, yeah.
So yeah.
Well, but it's
but a lot of women don't like it.
Yeah, yeah.
Shame.
Yeah, but I mean, I can honestly say, man, the pull-up game been slipped. 10,000 pull-outs. I slipped on one. It is what it is. Right? It's on me.
I had my son on purpose.
Oh, yes. It's on me.
And then some of us are proponents of Plan B. I'm just saying.
Gina B. The views of Gina B do not express this Kris Gina Relationship Show.
So, but to answer your
You'll say I am.
question,
Some people are though. I mean,
a lot of women don't like it because they don't want to feel shame in knowing that they knew they picked the wrong person, but they thought that they can change him.
Okay.
Well, women are the original rehabbers.
Thank
we
you.
are always the people that think we can change a man. And there's certain things that will probably alter over time, but there's certain things that will not change. I say this every week. Who he is as a person, his ethics, how he treats people, what is his core? Is he a good person? Is he hardworking? That's not going to change.
Yeah.
What will probably change is what he's wearing.
Right.
I've seen.
Gina?
Uh-oh.
He won't do me like he did.
Oh, yes,
her,
he
'cause
will.
I'm different.
No,
I'm
you're not
Superwoman.
different. You are
Right.
not different.
I'm Superwoman.
It will
Yes.
come back around to you too.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Men sometimes try to boost women. I've seen men who, met women who were on a losing streak and try to create a winning streak over them. Lots of times.
Men take, they wear that as a badge of honor sometimes.
Sure.
I'm all about people.
Captain Save-A-Ho.
If you are fixed, man or woman,
That's who that is.
I say if you have better options, don't take on a project, man or woman.
I've seen women who.
Women do it for men.
I mean, I'm telling anybody, but women who've asked me for help with the mortgage or help with the rent, call men homosexuals, right? Like women can't be broke, right? They just mess with the wrong man,
Right. That's all.
Mind.
That's trauma, right? When anybody, that's that limit. If I can't get my way, but look, from the beginning of the time, men, we learned to make fire while y'all watched our kids. We learned to manipulate nature. Y'all, we have to work on manipulating us. So that shaming, the insulting, the name calling, a real man would. I'm like, if somebody say a real man, you want you to bend over.
Sometimes it's manipulation.
It is
It's a lack of self-awareness. Literally, a person who 2 years ago needed help now doesn't need help, and they wonder why the hell somebody else needs help, or they think this gender is never supposed to need help. So it's a thing.
Yeah, that's that. We have our community. Gina B, we got a problem with making choices. I think our generation of parents, I think generations ago, they would stress the type of man or woman to marry.
Right.
We knew how to go get a good job. Go to school, get a good job. Especially in Chicago. We all came from the South. Go get a good job. Back, and I've seen some of these higher echelon families now that make 2 more pennies than I did yesteryear. You go to Martha's Vineyard, you see black folk. It's like, man, they got the goofiest little son in the world. But you fast forward and see some of them at 21, like they done picked right. They done made the right decisions. They done married into a good family. They done marry into toxicity. And I'm like, damn.
That's why arranged marriages last longer.
I have an Indian couple on my block. She said, no, I did not like Mr. VJ. I did not know him.
Exactly.
But I knew he was caring. You learn to love. That's what she told me. Older lady. Oh, she was like, that is a choice.
It's a choice.
So here's the thing that people don't like. At what point in your life did you even start thinking about relationships from a perspective of how healthy it is?
Oh, never thought about that.
Right?
I just thought who I liked and who liked me.
Exactly. Who fine?
Who fine? Who got? Yeah, that was it.
Who this? Who
Is
that?
she gonna
So
give me some?
I didn't begin to use the word healthy.
I was so in like this. She kissed
in
me.
my romantic
I
life
thought about
until
that
much
kind of
later.
early.
Yeah.
Okay,
Did
nice.
you?
I did. I thought about it kind of early because I witnessed a couple of friends of mine who were just being treated like shit.
But you had a
Guys.
mother, at least from my interactions with you, spoke to that. She was
Yeah.
real into
My
your.
parents were both.
She was real into your how you behaved in society. I could tell by your posture when I met you. You was raised a little different.
Well, but I also, my mother was also helpful to some of her friends who
Kidding.
were having bad relationships, and I would hear, like the hallmarks of an unhealthy relationship when I was young, and therefore I was aware of it, and I was able to identify it. Now that doesn't mean that I didn't date some doozies,
Right.
but I was very quick. I was the queen of the one. I'm like, oh no, I can see where this is going.
Well, that's
And so,
good.
but I thought about it kind of early because I just didn't. I had too good of a social life outside of dating to put up with some bullshit if I was dating,
Yeah.
right? Like my male friends were too nice to me for me to like I had a lot of male friends,
They were
platonic
not. They
male
still
friends,
wanted to sleep with.
whatever. But they were platonic male friends from my perspective,
Well, that's because
and
you weren't
maybe they
giving
didn't.
enough.
But maybe. But whatever it was, they were nice to me, and that was my benchmark.
I would.
right?
I like.
So that just goes to show you how much balance is needed because it's such,
Absolutely.
Just a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right. I tell people that getting on the right frequency is like a radio station, right?
Yeah.
107.5 WGCI. You go to 107.5, it's live, it's HD, it's coming through clear. You go 107.4,
Band over to
Right.
the left.
1.7, party's over. So a lot of times people think there's this huge adjustment that needs to be made for them to have a different result when really it's just sometimes the small
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
adjustments
it's
that need
just
to be
like the 5%. Okay, so I like to always talk about solutions to things.
Cool.
So, you guys, what do you think? Can people who lack accountability be helped, and how can that happen?
That's a tough question.
I think absolutely they just need to see the value in it. And I'm sorry for talking too much.
No, that's awesome.
But
Matter of fact, go ahead.
They
You said
just
that
need
very
to, they just
succinctly.
need to see the value in it. So I think if every person knew that accountability in their results would truly lead to them being able to change their results, everybody would embrace it. I also think that if everybody could easily, clearly see themselves, then they would. But there's no possible way for you to see yourself clearly on your own. You're looking from the inside, and the whole rest of the world is looking at you from the outside, and it's not the
You
same.
can get better at it though.
Vantage point
Yeah.
with help.
Yeah.
I think
I had to be
you need some
told,
good
you know,
friends or
Right.
good
I
therapists
had
or
a
somebody
father and
hold that
mother
mirror
who
up.
told me sometimes about myself. What do you think about that?
I agree with y'all too. And with some people, instead of verbally like telling them and making them aware, sometimes you just have to show them with, like, say a person who you tell them like, look, it's all about wording too. And I've learned that you just can't tell a person. You have to learn to be accountable because that's when people get defensive. It's all about wording, or like I said, showing them what actions. Like example at work, I have a coworker who she can never say I did this, I did that until one day I messed up and I said, you know what, I apologize. I did put that wrong on that patient chart. I'll make sure I won't do it
kill
again.
somebody.
And she just looked at me
Like, oh my God.
And to some people, I think when you show them, they'll be like, oh, I guess it's not so hard. Let me try that.
Right.
So, yeah.
What do we do about
That part, Gina.
you mentioned this earlier, but what do we do to folks who can't go against their feelings when they're wrong? Because that I've seen.
You break up with them.
If a person no, even if you're not, even if well, in relationships, what we're talking about, but let's say in general, people are, and maybe you just show them the benefit of being honest with yourself. I don't know, but I know that for any situation someone gets into, you can get out of most of the time.
What do you think, right?
Well, even the most narcissistic person, I looked it up, 10% of people somehow recover from that. I don't know how, but.
So the two of you both help people, right?
Yes.
Our bookends, our guests here.
Yes.
So what are some of the tools or practices that you would suggest for couples to work on the accountability in their relationships? Deli, let me start with you, since we always start with the men.
I would suggest couples therapy, but even before couples therapy, one-on-one.
Individual therapy?
Individual therapy.
Why is that?
Because in order to learn your partner, you have to learn about yourself to learn my actions of sometimes why, because sometimes we think it's always the other person who's causing the problems when most of the time sometimes it's us.
Yeah, I think so. Okay.
Like for me, I thought I was perfect in relationships until I had to ask two exes, like when it comes to being with me, what can I work on? It was my nonchalantness, which I didn't realize that was a defense mechanism.
You was like, go ahead, nigga. Beat it. And y'all too.
So that is truly the power of a healthy relationship. What I find, I'm 51, what I find, and never been married, right? But what I find super inviting about marriage is the accountability, right? Because if you live with somebody, you coexist with somebody, you can't hide things. But some people hate feedback, right? Because it's telling them the truth that they don't want to hear about themselves. Right. I call that breaking the mirror. But if your goal is to improve, then a relationship can be the greatest tool to mirror you and show you where you need to improve. So if you go into it thinking the opposite, that it's just going to be fantasy land and everything's just going to be fun and great, and you're already perfect enough for this relationship to reach heights that it's never hit before, I can see why this is going to be disappointing and problematic for you. But if you see it as the opportunity to work on yourself, as you see it as the opportunity to have somebody give you feedback every day, even if they're not talking, just by energy and what's going on, then it empowers you to be the person you want to be in a relationship.
I think that both of you, that was awesome. To tag on to that, just, personally, through relationship conflict, it's probably, I've been doing this show since, and writing since 2008. I think I first went on air in 2018. I was like, let me do some self-reflection. And one of the things I found out is, and I've mentioned this, but we went on, I found out through reading that our feelings can lie to us.
Ooh.
So what I would start doing is, how do I discern if my feelings are lying? I would say, okay, she said this, I said that, blah, blah, blah. Okay, it says that it could have been me. Not paying attention to this. Is it something in the past? Did you not rectify something in the past? Blah, blah, blah. I was just as culpable in almost every scenario I could think of. And that's hard to do. It was hard for me to do. But once I did that, every time I uncovered a layer about myself or truth, it was easier to see in other people. I can watch the show and say, oh, yeah, they're doing this. Oh, yeah, she's deflecting right now. She lying. In a few minutes, this is going to happen right here. I can see it. Yeah. But if you always think, if you're holding, and this is what used to happen to me, and this isn't even relationship. Growing up, my brother and uncle, they were older than me. They would play tricks, lock me in the trunk. I ain't going to whoop their ass. But anyway, I would hold past things to current situations. So even if I did something wrong, I'm still thinking about what they did to me, and I wanted to make them wrong.
Right.
And I was just wrong. At that situation, I was wrong in. And I look at relationships. I see people do that when I hear these comments. Well, women always. I can see that guy has some trauma.
Right.
Or but men always, and they don't do this. And no men that. Have you thought about the men you pick?
Right.
So feelings, I just want to point that out, do lie. So
yeah, the only way for you to ever have emotional intelligence is for you to come to the realization that all feelings are real, but all feelings are not reality.
Right. They don't meet the
Right?
objective reality.
Right.
Correct.
So if you tell somebody their feelings aren't real, and sometimes women feel more strongly than men, right?
Oh,
So
absolutely.
telling them that their feelings aren't real, you're going to meet with nothing but resistance. The feeling can be real, but still not be reality.
Right.
Every dumb decision that anybody has ever made, your brain approved of it, right? So
Oh yeah, I
you have to be able to differentiate.
I'm like condom schmondom.
You have to be right. Condom schmondom. Right, and that decision right there can change you.
Don't judge
for the rest of your life. And so, we have to be that self-awareness thing, to understand that you can feel something super duper strongly and still understand that don't act on that feeling, because the feeling is real, but it is not the reality of the situation.
Right.
Yes, and I will add too, in relationships, I'm gonna tell you, the people who have the toughest time accepting accountability in a relationship are the people who don't cheat. Because they think just because I don't cheat, I did no wrong. But they don't think about selfishness, being self-centered, gaslighting. They just think, because cheating is the end all be all.
Right.
So they like, I didn't cheat, I did no wrong. Those are the hardest people that learn to take accountability.
Or if they do, they justify it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I cheated because he did that.
Right.
He cheated 5 years ago. That's the only reason I let them dudes run that on me. No, that's a little extreme.
That's a little far.
It's a little far.
Run that on me.
So when y'all go ahead, Gina. I want to ask about their practice and let them do a shout out for what they do.
We can probably do another.
Oh, we got one more. But before we do, I want them to let people know what you do if they need some help. Tell them what you do.
Oh.
And we're giving you a plug right now. Before
we
finish the last question, close out the show.
For a relationship life coach, it's relationship, whether it's friendship, family,
that's
work,
good to know.
Girlfriend, boyfriend, however you love. But my Instagram is coach_DALILATWIN, coach_Dalila Twin. Facebook is Dalila Lucas, DALILALUCAS. You can inbox me. My phone number is on Facebook, and give me a call and you can set up an appointment.
Don't be calling the dudes to flirt. Y'all see this. You call, you need some help, and you got to pay. Anyway, go ahead.
Love it. And y'all too marvelous Hitch. I find that so many people, if they run into obstacles or challenges in any other area of their life, they'll get help, right? If you fail in a class, you go get a tutor. If it's not working in your career, women will not hesitate to go back to school and get a degree in something else and switch it around. But we are afraid to get that assistance in the romantic space. And so I'm here to tell you that you could truly change your results by taking ownership of your results and doing something to change it. That if you're out here blaming everything on the opposite gender, you're going to have a rough romantic life. But the minute you are okay with the mirror being held up to you, and you're okay with getting the feedback and the tools you need to improve, you will attract different things, and you will choose different things than in the past. So you can catch me at Inyatu Marvel is Hitch on Instagram, my government name Inyatu Marvel on Facebook, and thehitchagency.com is my website where you can book a free consultation and or book a group of sessions so we can begin to work on changing you from 107.4 or 107.6 and getting you to 107.5 where you're aligned with the romantic experience you want to have. And that romantic experience will come through in HD for you, high definition.
That was hot. That was hot right there. I didn't know where you were going with that. That was hot.
That was nice.
That was hot, wasn't it?
Fine tuning.
Use that over there in your stuff too. Gina, you got another question?
I have a quick one.
And then I got some notes.
Oh, you have notes? Well, go ahead and do your notes.
Oh, no,
no, it's fine. Do your notes.
These are like
no. Do your notes.
These are cold
I'm gonna
notes.
use cardiology for mine.
I just wanted to point out what accountability looks like, other than, we talked a lot about it. Just sharing honesty. If you have a partner in your relationship, if you willingly invite them to share their thoughts on you, that's saying that you want to, that you're open to hearing constructive criticism. And Yatu mentioned managing your emotional intelligence. meaning you can hear something unpleasant and you don't have a World War III reaction to it. You can process it, you can speak to it. If you disagree with it, you can question it, but always remain open to it. Just simply following up on what you said you're going to do. That's holding yourself accountable to your word. Being consistent is it as well. Um, Reaching out to repair maybe a disconnect with or an issue that had gone, unresolved in a relationship can help out. Those types of things can build trust. They can make your relationship more resilient when you're going through issues. And life is going to be hard enough. Going through it with somebody else, you are just guaranteed to have problems. And in today's culture, we just walk away from it. You know what I'm saying? We just walk away. But it helps you build resilience and able to resolve those even tough conflicts and also draw you all closer together when you go through it. Because most of us haven't gone through a lot. And this is after, next week will be 17 years of marriage. The over-under was 2 years on me. Here I am right here. Because I ain't got sense. Thank you. I get, y'all maybe like, what, 2 hour, 2 hours. I ain't got it. I ain't all the way over. I got snap. I'm in there. Anyway, Gina, that's all. Like, what you got?
You know what? I was good. You covered everything, so I'm straight.
What tips? I don't even know if this is about relationships. 1 out of 2 relationships starts online these days. What tips do you have? Because I truly think for a myriad of reasons, from education to Black finance to our children being raised better, I just think we do better together. We have only, low 30% of Black males are married, close to 30% of women are married, but still kids being born. What can we do to strengthen relationships between men and women? 1 tip for men, 1 tip for women, or in general. And that's my final question for you all, and that's it.
My 1 tip is therapy. Because from a person that is dating, there are the number of emotionally unavailable people is super high. And when you ask people, are you emotionally available? Their first answer is yes, because they don't even know what it is.
Right.
Until you talk to them and you say to yourself, no, you are definitely unavailable. But I think once a lot of people get open to therapy and not look at it as a negative thing, and a lot of people will get better.
Good tip.
I hate to double down on what you said.
That was good. That was tight. Hey.
The bottom line is the definition of insanity is do the same thing over and over again and expect different results. And so we are the common denominator in all of our results. So whether it be from therapy or coaching or counseling, some type of assistance so that you can change some things that you're doing to change your results. Otherwise, I guarantee you would be 65 and 75 still complaining about the exact same things. Yes. That practice makes perfect. And if you put yourself in position to be mentored and get better, I promise you, your results will be different. It worked for me. And it took a long time too. Yes. Like people want immediate results. I decided in 2017 that I wanted to be a healthy partner and a healthy husband one day. And it took a lot of work on my own while I was single, and then a lot of being exposed when I tried to date and be in relationships for me to see all the things that I saw to be able to operate at the level in a relationship that I am today. And I'm super duper proud of that and happy for myself and happy for my lady that she's getting the best version of me. And so when people commit to that, they will win.
Congratulations. All right. We're about to be out of here like last year.
We out of here?
We're out of here.
Well, thank you, guests, for coming on. I want to have you all both back with different subjects.
Yeah. I'll come.
Yeah, because y'all lend some credibility up in here. I can only pay you in wine for right now. But until we get some more viewers, that won't say.
Help people free is fine with me.
Anyway, and thank you all for joining. We'll be back next week. Every week we do something on dating, marriage, money, and sex. That's what we do. That's all we do. Kris and Gina, we out here like last year. We see y'all next week. Shout out to the producer, Ryan. Ryan, you can take off the mute so I can say some foul stuff down in the studio. Thank you all. Y'all tune on out. Thank you all for coming.